Hey folks, welcome to the Clear Creek Cab Mini Farm. So if your John Deere's gagging and sputtering and coughing and wheezing and just doesn't seem to want to run well, you know, maybe it's got the flu, or even worse, maybe it caught the coof. Chances are, I don't think it's transmittable from humans to John Deere tractors. I don't know. I don't think so, but you can look it up, do a Google search or something. Maybe you'll find something. You never know. But we're not going to get her vaccinated. What we're going to do is we're going to give her a little bit of service. So today, what we're going to do, I noticed that the John Deere was sputtering a little bit. I was taking a run up the hillside to do a poo run because our donkeys give us a ton of poo. And I was taking it up the hill the other day, and it started to sputter a little bit going up on a slight incline. So that's a sign that, you know, you may have some issues with one of your fuel filters, your air filter. Some kind of an intake to the engine is creating this. So today what we're going to do is we're going to change the primary fuel filter, which is underneath the footstep on the left-hand side. We're going to change the secondary fuel filter, which is over on the other side of the engine. And we're going to change the air filter, and we're going to clean out the grill filter as well. All those things should help with that particular problem. So what we'll do is go through these steps today, show you a little bit of what we're going to do. I'm not going to go into detail at any great amount of detail here, but this should pretty much solve the problem for you. If you're having that kind of an issue, more than likely it's a fuel problem or it's an air problem. I mean, that's really just about all that can go wrong with one of these little tractors. That's how easy it is. So we've got it out here in the barn. It's real cold today. It's about 25 degrees, 28 degrees. In order to stay nice and warm in our big old barn, I fire up our Glenwood K cook stove. This is an old baby. It was probably built somewhere around 1905, 1910, and it certainly heats up the entire barn. Our barn is 24 by 32 and no insulation, and it gets it nice and toasty in here. Got a big old fire roaring in here this morning, and it's certainly going to keep me warm while I'm doing something like this. Because it's such a cold day, what I did was break out a little space heater, and I'm running the space heater on the left-hand floorboard of the tractor, right where that little primary filter is underneath. Knowing that it's 28 degrees under there, there's rubber hoses that connect the little filter together. So you want to make sure that they're nice and flexible and able to pull that filter out of there. You're going to have to clamp both sides of the hoses, and then you're going to pull the filter out and put a new filter in. And again, having the heat on is going to make that a little bit more pliable. Trying to do this in really cold weather is probably not the best thing to do. So we're warming it up. Once it's warmed up, we're going to pull that filter. As you can see, it's best to drop the front loader if you've got one on your tractor. That gives you enough room, a little extra room to be able to work around here, especially when you're getting ready to do the secondary filter on the right-hand side of the tractor. It's very hard to work around that front loader arms and everything on that side and all the hydraulic hoses. It'd be a lot easier if you just drop the front loader. Nice thing about having a big old barn here on the farm, I was able to drop the front loader over in the hay storage section of the barn, get that out of the way today. Okay, we're going to open the hood with my nifty little button here. And we're going to change the air filter. Secondary and primary. Primary looks pretty good, but the secondary is definitely really bad, so we're going to change that out as well. Huge difference. There we go. That secondary filter is looking pretty nasty. You can see how dirty it is. I'll take it out and show you how it looks compared to a brand new one. And you can also see that there may be a little bit of moisture or water here in the bottom of the filter cup as well. That primary fill filter is looking really nasty too. Look how dark and black that is. I think this is our culprit right here predominantly. You can see just how dirty and filthy that primary filter is. As you guys can see, I keep a complete backstock of all the maintenance items that I need for the tractor. And here's a prime example why. It was yesterday that I had a problem with the tractor. I didn't have to worry about it not being able to be used immediately. I was able to pull it into my barn, grab my stock of filters and oil and everything that I needed, and be able to make the changes. And now what I can do is reorder all the parts that I used. I used a secondary air filter, I used a primary fuel filter, and I used a secondary fuel filter. That way now what I can do is go ahead and order those right back up again, put them right in my back stock. Always good to have this available. So I suggest you guys do the same. That way you won't even lose a day with your tractor if it goes down on you. I'll put a link to all of these parts available from my Amazon Associates store down in the description if you want to order from there. Don't care if you do or not. Yes, I may get some little stipend if you order it from me. Doesn't cost you anything. But yes, I do get a minor little stipend if you order it from me. Don't care. Go to one of the other sites, order it out. Doesn't matter to me. Just making it convenient for you so that you've got the right part numbers that you need down below. So you guys can see, this is just a couple hundred hours of use on the tractor. Gives you an idea why you may have problems with it and why it doesn't run well. Here's the secondary fuel filter here, the old one and the new one. Here's the primary fuel filter, the old one and the new one. And the secondary air filter, the old one and the new one. Huge difference. I'm sure this is exactly why the tractor wasn't running very well. We're going to change the oil tomorrow. The day after that, we'll do the transmission, and we'll have the full 600-hour service all done. One of the tips that I want to tell you about is that you may want to consider getting yourself a few small hose clamps versus these pinch type and replace them when you replace your primary filter. I put these back on and it started leaking. I had to start all over again, and I had to put just regular standard hose clamps on instead of these pinch type. Gotta love the world. I'm in the middle of changing this filter. I've got the hose all clamped down and we lose power and I go in total darkness. So I had to wait a little while. It's getting pretty cold here now. We finally got it done. Okay, for you guys that have got your back tires filled with calcium chloride or beet juice or whatever it is, make sure that your valve stem is up towards the top. You don't want to check it or fill it with air at the bottom. You don't want to have any of the fluid or the liquid coming out and getting into your gauge and your fill tubes. I set my rear ones at 22 and the front ones at 24. It calls for 22 on the front, but I've got a front loader, so you should kick that up a little bit. My gauge is sticking a little bit in this freezing day. Okay, perfect. Well, that's it for today's video, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Love to have you become members of our family here at the Clear Creek Cabin Mini Farm. Take care. God bless you till the next time we see you.